Hello, hello, hello. This is Tom from Tom and Ruth Philippine Adventures. Today we're going to talk about language barriers, language communication here in the Philippines. As you know, I'm here in the Philippines. Been here 6 years or so. Actually, 6 years. 6 years or better. So we're going to talk about this today. So stay tuned. This is a question that does come around, and I usually just answer it. And what I do is I just answer it accordingly. And what I mean by that is communication. Communication between your wife and your family and your friends. Communication of you speaking English or Visaya or Cebuano or Ilonggo. The language barrier for me has been really a challenge. Not everybody speaks English. And you'll find the ones that do speak English are rare, really truly rare. You would think that they'll understand, hey, take me in a taxi, take me to an address, and they'll say, sir. So you show them a picture on your phone, this is where I need to be taken to. Same thing if you're a taxi in town. I had a heck of a time trying to tell a guy one time, I live in Parok 1. And he just could not understand my English. Yet, R would say Parok 1, and because of her slang and her words, it came out easier, and he understood exactly where it was at. And I sometimes don't, and even communication between your loved ones can be a challenge. R and Ruth speak English. My whole family speaks English, but here's what happens. You get in a room, you go to a party. You may have this many people speaking English in the room that speak English on a regular basis. That's the only language they know. Then you'll have this many that can speak English, or this many speak English, but their English language is limited to a certain extent, but this many can speak English 100% and understand it thoroughly. But you'll find yourself being the only guy in the room that can actually speak it. You can sometimes find yourself in a lonely position. And I'm just going to say that. It's where you're at. It's not who you are. It's just the way it is. It's something that a lot of Americans, a lot of foreigners, Aussies, all the guys, they just don't go. They just don't go. They find themselves sitting in a room by themselves, sitting in a corner. And I had this topic recently with 2 or 3 guys, Claude and Tom Shipman, and they find it the same way, that if they're in the room, only as their wives speak it, and they have that communication. Ollie's the same way, and they find themselves kind of like the left shoe. Ollie speaks more Visaya than any of us. Ollie's has the restaurant. Now, he speaks fluent Visaya. He understands a lot of it. He speaks it. He doesn't have a slang that I had slang. If I say ulan, they'll understand it like rain. It's raining today, ulan today, rain today. But they'll understand it, but that's one word. If it's a sentence, they don't understand a word I'm saying. If I say a sentence, Visaya, they don't understand a word I'm saying. They'll laugh at you. And after a while, they're laughing at you. They think it's funny and it's a joke. And it's, or so, hey, look at this American trying to speak Visaya. It's funny. It's like joke time. But in my world, it's a serious time, and I'm really trying to learn it. So I've given up completely. And it's okay. It's not a big deal for me. I just know that I know my limitations, and I know what's required. So if you're coming here and wanting to learn Visaya, learn from another American, like Philo or one of the guys like that can speak Tagalog and things like that very well. And learn from someone that actually speaks the language, and they can help you along. That's really my advice. Guys are asking me, how can I learn the language? The best way to learn it from another foreigner. If you're in a room, if you have your children, if you have aunties, uncles, mama and papa there, they're going to laugh. And it's just something they've never dealt with before, seen before. They're really not laughing at you, but it's easy for you to take an emotion and put it that way after about 100 times. So you find yourself, you say, okay, yeah, okay, joke. And then after it happens so many times, you just kind of say, okay, well, why don't I just relax for that for a while? We sometimes don't realize you're going to the bus terminal. I need to go to Davao. They'll understand I need to go to Davao. But if you get in there, I need to stop at, I'm just going to make a word up, at Quezon. They'll understand, but they'll understand where there's no bus stop there, or they don't understand that you need, why would you need to stop? So, and people don't really realize that what happens is not having a lot of people that do speak it. Now, you'll run across people that actually speak 100% American, and they'll speak it fine, English. And you'll find that, and a lot of times you'll find that those are the ones that work overseas. The requirement is that they need to speak English. A lot of the OFW workers, English and or something else. The Chinese want English. The Japanese want English. Dubai wants English. Saudi wants English. So you'll find yourself that people are going to Israel. They want English. So you don't think about it, but the ones that come back can really speak it fluently. A lot of the OFW workers have to learn it, and they learn it fast, or they don't survive. But here, it's best if you want to learn online, or for someone that speaks, that's American and or foreigner that can speak it. A lot of times too, if you can get in the room, but you and your wife and do it, but she's going to get frustrated with you because you're not having that certain click. So I suggest that you find someone that's a third party that can actually teach you the language. I have had a guy ask me this morning, my buddy expat, it was expat in the Philippines. He was asking me that question. He's here in town, and we was talking about that. Sometimes, here's something too. Sometimes, and I want to say this, sometimes you want to be in conversations. Sometimes maybe it's best that you're not in the conversations. Meaning not being in the conversations, you want to kind of, because what happens is there's here, Filipino, it's their nature, they just chit-chat a lot. And well, you'll find yourself in conversations, oh, did you hear that so-and-so is doing this and so-so is doing that? And there's a lot of chit-chat going on, and a lot of it is a foreigner. We don't like that anyway, so we just do something else. And you'll have a lot of times too where the guys are out back having a couple cold ones, and they'll want to drink a beer with you, and then they'll want you to speak English, and it ends up being honestly a chore, a job. So you have to kind of limit yourself on the gatherings, limit yourself on doing things here. If you're a newbie, fine. If you're a newbie and you don't have a problem with it, but you'll find after a while, after a few years, you'll find yourself kind of out. A lot of the guys split their time now. That were planning just to stay here full time. I talked to 4 of them yesterday. That if they split their time here, their intentions initially were to stay here full time, and it's not go back to their countries. One's Canadian, one's Aussie, and the other 2 are American. They did that thinking they're just going to stay here and everything's fine because everybody speaks English and it's fine. But they found themselves as an outcast. So what you have to do is make that choice, and they went back because of different reasons. Everybody has their own reason for doing things. One guy was for food. He says, I've had it. I can't get anything worth anything, and I live in Davao and I can't get anything. And he said, I'm tired of eating the same thing. I ordered a taco at a place, and he said it was just horrible. But it's okay. You're going to find that anywhere you go. Horrible food. But it's like. I wanted to say that today. You want to try to, in communication with your wife, communication with your family members, you need to make yourself, I don't care how slow you speak, clear and precise on your intentions and what you're trying to get them to hear you on. If you don't, say as less words as possible. The faster you go, the less they understand. And some don't even understand the first 2 words you even said. So you're going to find that's happening not. I said something to Ruth's sister. I call it, her name is Bibing, and the way I say Bibing, she didn't listen to me. She's on another land. But if Ruth says Bibing, she looks straight at her. And it was kind of funny. The other day she was here and I was asking Bibing a question, and she's sitting there on her phone. She didn't hear a word I said. But if Ruth said Bing to her, she just immediately popped up and answered him, talking, So it's just the way it is. It's the slang. It's the words. And it's no one's fault. It's the fault sometimes of the person who's speaking it right, because you're not speaking it right. So there you go. If you want to learn the language, the best thing to do is learn from someone else. Learn from someone that actually speaks it, has learned it, went to school. There are many guys online that teach it. Aussie Pinoy teaches it. His is mainly Tagalog. You need to, if I was going to learn the language, I learned Visaya first, because Visaya is the basis for Cebuano, which is Cebuano, Tagalog, Ilocano. There's 2 or 3 languages, but if you can understand this, a lot of people in Manila do not understand people here. It's the language barrier. Even they have a problem, but they'll speak a little English so they can kind of communicate. And certain words come across differently. Certain words have different meaning all the way around. It's strange, right? So I want to thank everybody for always watching my video. So that is the answer to some of the guys that asked me this question today. God bless, and see you guys next time.